The Interesting Conversations with Interesting People podcast series with author Nigel Beckles.
Welcome to the podcast.
Please like the podcast and subscribe to this channel. Thank you. The very best way to promote your podcasts. Podpage makes it easy to create a podcast website with just a few clicks. Every page is optimized to be found on Google and it stays up to date forever. For more information, visit podpage.com. The future of podcast promotion.
Have you experienced several failed relationships or been through a divorce? How can you avoid making the same mistakes again? How to avoid making the big relationship mistakes is out now.
Hi, my name is Nigel Beckles. My new book is packed with practical and common sense strategies that you can use to make better relationship choices.
Now you can discover the dangerous myths about love. If your relationship expectations are realistic, why you could be falling in love for all the wrong reasons.
How to avoid making the big relationship mistakes. It's a book that could change your life.
Available from amazon.co.uk. Kindle version also available.
When the Mood is Right, a poetry journey and mood swings by Queen P. Available on Amazon and all good bookstores.
The Royal Affair.
By Queen P.
Dim the lights, sit back, relax, and breathe. You have entered into the Royal Affair.
Queen P. Poetry podcasts. Available now.
The Royal Affair.
Tired of your family being separated by electronic devices? When was the last time you all took part in an activity together? No mobile phones involved. Well, now, you've found Melanopoly, the amazing and blacknificent property trading board game for all the family. Build your property portfolio and even purchase the Black Star Liner shipping company. Buy property in the Caribbean, Africa, or how about buying a hotel in London? Your options are limitless. Get Melanopoly to start teaching your loved ones to build generational wealth today. By Black Love is Black Power and Black Child Promotions.
Get ready for takeoff.
Welcome back to my Interesting Conversations with Interesting People podcast series. My guest for this episode is the co-founder of the Black Child Promotion Educational Services. He is also the co-creator of the recently released Melanopoly board game, Suliaman Lee. Hi, Suliaman. Welcome to my podcast series. How are you?
I'm fine. We give thanks for life, another day another opportunity to better ourselves, So we give thanks for the breath of life always.
Well, that's a great sentiment. So where do you reside at the moment?
I'm from North London, Tottenham.
So you're the creator of the Melanopoly board game.
Yeah, I'm part of the team. As Dennis Brown, one of my favourite singers, says, no man is an island. So I can't solely take the credit, but yeah, definitely it's a team effort. As Black Child Promotions, it's a team effort.
Well, we're going to talk about Black Child Promotions later on. But when did you develop an interest in Black history?
Well, it was compulsory for me, because my mother, she was connected to a lot of Pan-African organizations. So as a child, it was part of my upbringing to be involved in Kwanzas from early. A lot of the people that were invested in the struggle, I know a lot of them, including people like Pepper Kai Nkrumah. A lot of people call him Uncle Pepper Kai. Then you got Binnie Brown. Then you got, he's in Birmingham. We used to go up there for African Liberation Day as a child. And you got Minka Dofu. He's part of the Afrika Bantu School, named after his sister, who I knew personally as well. She helped raise me. Rest in peace, rise in power, Sister Afrika Bantu. You got Brother Lawezi. You got Brother Niles from West London. So I was very much involved from an early age, as my mum made it compulsory that, we learned about our African history, going to Saturday schools, being involved in community meetings and being part of the Pan-African Youth Committee and the youth meetings, so it was something that I was raised into.
So how did the creation of the board game come about?
Well, the creation of the board game, our team, mainly two of us, we saw that there was a lack of representation. And because we've been selling books for 18 years, so we said, you know what, instead of like books and other learning materials, let's develop something that the whole family can come together and connect. Also teach the children in a fun way about creating generational wealth and learning about economics in a fun way, and also learn their history. And even from children to adults, some people don't like reading because, there's other ways of learning. Some people are visual, some people listen, some people watch. So we wanted to encapsulate all of that into one game and have it in a way that all ages can play it and enjoy themselves.
When did it become available? When was the board game published?
It was officially launched at the beginning of this year, but we've had an overwhelming response from the community. Like, a lot of people have supported us, and, we're grateful for that. Even some beautiful stories, like we set up our stall in Oxford Circus, the first all-black bookstore in Oxford Circus, and a family that was visiting for a funeral from America, they walked past our store and they saw the Melanopoly board game, and they said, wow, that's the game that we were playing at the reception to the funeral. And they said, we laughed. They gave us feedback. They gave us a lot of positive feedback saying, we laughed. So, it's something that all of us can relate to as African or African Caribbean community. We can relate to, and it's something for us, by us. And the fact that families been over from America, and they said, it helped them bond after the loss of their loved one. And for me, that's exactly why we do it for. Those things are priceless. Like the fact that people can come overseas and enjoy the game. So our aim is to make this worldwide, so the whole Black family can enjoy it.
Well, you're a co-founder of the Black Child Promotions organisation. Yeah. So when did you begin that organisation, and why did you start it?
It started mainly in around 2002. We went to a conference in Barbados, which was an NGO, meaning non-governmental organisation conference in Barbados. And there was a woman called Esther Stanford at the time that worked for the Society of Black Lawyers. So she saw me as a young person involved in movement from an early age, and she was kind of impressed with me. So she invited me to go to the conference, which was a follow-up to a conference that they had in Durban, South Africa, which was addressing global racism. So in the conference in Barbados, the follow-up non-governmental organization conference, it had delegations all over the world from Zimbabwe, South Africa. At that conference, I was a part of the UK delegation and the youth committee, basically, to explain what reparations means to us. And we came to the understanding that reparations isn't just about monetary gain or anything like that. It's about repairing the damage that was done. So that was the conclusion that we came up to. So the NGO conference actually turned into a very famous conference. That's where the contemporary reparations movement that you see in Brixton every year kind of started from that. And it was like a powerful event. And I remember at that event, I kind of pledged subconsciously and consciously to work within the community to help liberate the minds of my people. So I made a pledge at that conference in 2002 when I was 18 to do that. When my uncle must have came from the States, his name is Lasana, and he helped me to develop a platform. And also there's other people like Mikey from Seven Sisters Market, before it was now called the Colombian Market, but before Seven Sisters Market, he gave me a job there, taught me how to work within the community. We also have someone called Brooklyn Nuba as well that helped me. And these people basically helped me go into the streets, taught me how to go into the streets and galvanize people through learning materials. And so I started at 18. When I come back from the conference, I started properly gaining momentum in 2019. So I've been doing this basically 18 years, but it all precipitated from the conference where I made that pledge that I wanted to start something within the community. So I've been on the front lines of communities across London since 2003. So we started in Tottenham, Seven Sisters for years. And then we branched out to other places like Wembley Market at the time, Peckham on a Sunday. Also, we've done Church Road Market. We've moved from Tottenham to Brixton also, and we've had a major impact in Brixton. We've also done Stonebridge Community Fun Days and stuff like that. We've done Croydon, we've done Camden, we've done Shepherd's Bush, we've done Stratford, just many different places, and this is all through the idea of self-reliance, doing for self. So nobody basically helped to do this apart from our own circle. This social media age kind of helps us because we were doing it before social media. So social media aids us in spreading the message even further.
So what do you think are some of the best ways to raise awareness regarding Black history and Black awareness?
One thing I always say is that what I'm used to growing up within, Pan-African movement is that a lot of meetings that go on, community meetings, whether it's African Liberation Day, all of these meetings and events are powerful, but sometimes you find the same people there. So when I was a child, I'll probably see the same people going. If I went to African Liberation Day, I'll see the same people that I saw when I was a child. So what I recognize is that we need to reach the wider audience. And by wider audience, I mean our youth specifically. Because a lot of the youth ain't going to go to no meetings and community meetings. And if you try to preach at them, they're going to be like, don't preach at me, big man, or whatever. So we have a strategy where, like, for example, the first location, bookstore in Oxford Circus, Oxford Street. We went there because a lot of young people go into the Nike town and do their shopping there. So what we managed to do is that a lot of people who you would never find in no type of so-called conscious meetings, we're able to reach them. And we don't force feed it to them. They come, they see it. They may even see like a book, and their whole rationale is, we don't have any books in school that represent us. So it doesn't have to be a complex concept. It could just be a concept of representation. And my son's Black, my daughter's Black. So I want a book that describes Afro, makes her happy to be, proud to be Black, or proud to be African, or proud to be Caribbean. So simplicity is the best way to reach people, and direct action as well. Sometimes talking and stuff like that, that's good. However, you can lose the youth like that. The youth more respect action. So we've been able to employ a lot of youth. Like I've got a lot of people that may have been in a community doing other things, which I won't mention. And I say to them, look, come on a bookstore with me. Come on a bookstore. And when they see that there's a potential where they can provide for themselves and do something that is good for themselves and good for their community, can develop themselves, give them a purpose. A lot of them, we've employed over 10 people since 2003. And these are brothers. Some of them come straight off the road. And we've been able to change their perception and change their whole trajectory in terms of their lifestyle and where they're heading. Myself included, because even though I was raised in struggle, can be disillusioned. We're all victims of mental colonization to a certain extent. I would say direct action. When the youth them can see an example, the best way to change anybody is to change yourself first. Because when they see that example, they'll say, okay, when the youth see us active in Oxford Street, some of them even some man them just even pass and say, listen, big man, I see what you're doing, brother. And we love what you're doing here. Just take a £20. I don't even want no books, and just donate. And sometimes they get angry if I say, no, take something. They'll be like, no. I don't want nothing. I just love what you're doing. In fact, one time in Tottenham, I was walking towards, my uncle's house. Same uncle I was talking about, Uncle Pepperkite. And a car just skidded up to me violently. And then the man said, are you the bookman? I said, yeah. I didn't know what to say because, I was kind of startled. I was like, yeah, I sell books and that. And he just took out £40 out of his pocket, slapped it in my hand, and then sped off again. So I'm thinking, if we are having that type of impact on the youth, then let's just keep on going. Let's just keep doing it, because it's like we're reaching them. Even if it's a small impact, big impact, the youth are the future of our struggle. The youth are the future leaders. Frederick Douglass once said that it's easy to raise strong children than it is to repair broken adults or broken men, he said. Once we have the youth, then we can change our condition as a people. So that's my main strategy, is that I'm there for everybody, but especially the youth. Areas that we see youth in, especially, we try to go on the front lines of those. Oftentimes they demonize our youth. We don't want to be around these people or whatever like this, but how can we say that? Like, these are our youth, these are our children. If we don't save them, then the authorities are going to take them. So it's our job to save our youth, and not just save them, but make them productive individuals and let them know that they're the future of our nation. That's my strategy, just being in the streets. Because remember, in the streets, you can more network. You meet all types of people. You meet people from the continent. You meet people from the diaspora. That's the best way to network.
So, Suliaman, how can people contact you?
Instagram, which is Black Child Promotions, at Black Child Promotions. And we've got Facebook, which is Black Child, and then you do a space, then promotions. So that's Black Child, one word, space, promotions. And then if you want to check our documentary by Art Beget Spirit, which is on YouTube, you just type in Black Child Promotions anything black, all platforms, Black Child Promotions, and also YouTube. There's a lot of information on YouTube about us. And I would just like to thank all of the community for their support and love. And we also appreciate it. And we're very grateful at this time.
Suliaman in London, UK, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe. Another In Conversation podcast coming soon.